I am your host, Kristina Bloom, and I'm at a retreat. How great is that, right? We're at this wonderful celebrating 5D and beyond retreat. So we're talking about raising our frequency, raising our energy, and moving into a higher consciousness of being. So I am here with, I'm just going to start over on my left. We got Melanie, Marsha, Kristina, Linda. I know your name. Deb, Barb, and Sherry. And we have been discussing how 3D solutions don't work in a 5D world. And we had some pretty lively discussions earlier. So as we are talking about this, we had some aha moments. I want to talk about the aha moments that we've had since we got here yesterday. There has been so much silliness and camaraderie, and oh my God, you should have seen exercise this morning. It was hilarious. So we're moving along here. I think the youngest of us is in her early 50s. So, we're kind of cruising along here as we are moving. But I really think it's so important to understand how to find joy in our lives. And that's really what this retreat is about, is to move forward in our lives with joy, with understanding, without judgment, but with discernment. That was another part of our conversation that was really important. So I'm going to open up the table to anyone who feels like they heard something or a discussion kind of touched you, some sort of aha moment where we are moving forward into, oh, that's what that means, or we did have a Pleiadian channeling last night too.
Yes,
so
we did. So fun. So fun.
So, there are a lot of things that we've already kind of brought to the table, literally, because it was at this table. And, how are you guys doing with all of this information? And how much of it is new and how much did you already know? Mind blowing.
Well, some of it's very mind blowing, yes.
Okay, well, tell us about that. What's mind blowing to you?
Well, the Pleiadian thing was absolutely fabulous, and it was real eye opener. I've never seen any person channel that way.
Okay.
And the information was just so big, so something I've never heard of. I've heard Starseed, but I knew nothing about it. So it was just so informational. It was just mind blowing for me.
Okay, so tell us about Starseed. What did you learn about that, or what really struck you about that?
Well, that we all are. That really was the big thing, because I thought, some people are, most people aren't, but he said that we all were, which was really mind blowing for me, because you look at people and you think in 3D, you think, it was just really mind blowing for me.
Right. Everyone has their role to play. Everyone has their own growth path, their own soul path. And when we can stop judging each other's soul paths, I think that's really key.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Linda. I can feel you chomping at the bit.
Okay, I really wasn't, but okay.
This is the first time she hasn't been.
Well, I've been listening, but I think one of the things that when you were talking that I kind of had this, do you always hear other people saying, the special ones? Do you belong to this special group?
Are you one of the 144,000?
And last night, because first of all, I've always thought no one is more special than the other. And if you need to feel special, it is your lack of
It's your
being
ego.
authentic, and it's
Yes.
your ego. And so to hear through the channeling that all of us
Have something.
have something, and I thought, yes, that's what I believe.
Yes.
So when I hear, oh, only the special ones would know this.
Well, and then there's plenty to go around,
There's
right?
plenty of
Like
go-
there's
yeah.
a lot of, I think, competition sometimes amongst spiritual healers, and it's like, no, there's enough for everybody. There's something out there that's going to resonate with someone.
Right.
It's not a competition to see who can get them all, or that someone can do it better than someone else.
And that's 3D.
Mhm.
That is 3D. And 5D is about moving into evolving.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
back to that evolution of evolving past of the judgments.
Right. And the inclusiveness. There's
The
inclusive.
inclusiveness.
It's
Yes.
inclusive instead of exclusive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're also drawn to somebody at your same vibration. So if you go to a physical fair and you go like, no, I don't want that reader. I want that one, because you are drawn to that on that frequency.
That is,
Right.
and that's perfect.
I think that's how I met most of the people in this room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I felt drawn to you, Kristina, when I came for a reading.
Yeah. And that was in Waters Meet, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that sometimes we are, or others are, we are attracted to people or drawn to people, or others are drawn to us also at different points and moments when we are supposed to be learning something. So maybe we are being drawn towards somebody who is in 3D or 2D, or maybe the other way around. Maybe we're being drawn towards someone that's in 5D or 6D,
Mhm.
or I
Or
think there's such
whatever.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because we're meant to evolve.
Right. I think the unfortunate thing for humans is that we are restricted by language,
Yeah.
because there's so much that we can't express because we don't know how to do it.
The right word.
Mhm.
You know, because we don't always have the right word. Maybe the right word doesn't even exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that as humans is one of the things that restricts us a lot, is we're trying to explain something that we feel, that we're aware of, but we don't have a word for.
Mhm.
And I think that can be really frustrating, because how many times have we all been like jumping over the table to get a word in, but none of us have really been hitting it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it's just not quite there, but this is as close as we can get, kind of a thing.
And that is
Yeah.
where misinterpretations of,
Yes.
of the conversation.
Yes.
You said this, so therefore that's what you meant, and you're going, no. Let me try that again. And there's just no words.
Right.
And even if you had the words, will they actually be able to perceive it,
Or
Right.
what they want to perceive.
or how they want to perceive it?
Right. Which brings up filters.
Yes.
Yes.
And what were you just going to say?
I always say, listen to what I'm thinking, not what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's a good one.
When you were saying that we're all special, it made me think of like the Incredibles movie. If you're all special, then no one is. But
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But we are all special. Not that we're less important or more important, but all of our individual ways of coming at things in our diversity
We're
and
at
different
Equal.
things is what makes it amazing and awesome and special.
Right.
Yes.
So we're all special. Nobody's more elevated or less elevated or anything like that.
Right. Which brings us into the 5D part of there are no authorities. We are
Yeah.
our own sovereign
Right.
authorities.
Right.
And sovereignty is something that I keep seeing and hearing everywhere lately.
Mhm.
A lot. And that is really, you know, we have our own authority. We are our own authority. We don't need somebody else to tell us what's right and what's wrong. We know. Right. So
Right.
that can be kind of dangerous when we're looking at some of,
Yeah.
you know, what's right and what's wrong, because not everyone has the same idea about what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. But
Right.
when we move into the higher consciousness of the fifth dimensional energy, we don't get there without figuring that out. right? So
Right.
that's a 3D construct of right and wrong, good and bad. The whole dualism, I guess, is the word I'm looking
External
for.
versus internal too.
Yes.
Like I feel like 3D is very much external input, making a judgment or whatever, right? Like you're allowing that to determine how you feel about something versus sitting with it and really figuring out what you
Right.
feel about it
Right,
without that.
right.
So it's your personal relationship with yourself.
Yes.
Mhm.
But yet we have relationships with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And walking through these relationships can be quite interesting.
It can be, but
And
that's the point.
That's
isn't
the
it?
point. That is
Yeah.
the point. These individuals have come that are part of your life walk, your spiritual growth. And if you're going to hold on to the judgments and the condemning and the cursing, you're not going to evolve.
Right.
So you have to learn how to not take what's going on personally. And I'm saying this from a personal perspective, is that when
Yeah.
those that you have loved and given your all, and you find out that they have been judging you, that cuts to the core.
It can, yeah. Absolutely.
But when you're doing your work, you begin to go into the stages of, what's my part in this?
Mhm.
What's my responsibility?
Yes.
I take ownership. And then when I finally get to, and sometimes it used to take years. Okay. We'll be honest. It took years. But as I worked through the different relationships, I worked through them faster. And then I'd go, oh, I now am able to bless them. Thank you for coming and teaching me what I needed to know, what I needed to grow from, so I could evolve. Contract done.
Yes.
You can let it go.
I can
You
let
can
it go.
Absolutely let it go.
Right.
And I think that is imperative.
Right. And as we're working through different relationships, different behaviors, different ways that we interact with the world, like you said, sometimes it took years. Like in the beginning, it took years, but you create a process because that's the way our brains work, right?
Mhm.
It creates processes. So, 20 years ago, it might take me 5 years to get through one specific issue. And now it might be a couple hours.
Yeah.
Depending, because we grow, depending on what it is.
Depending on what it is.
Oh, somebody
Somebody did not silence their phone.
Spirit's calling.
God's
It's the
calling.
Palladians.
I shut it off.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
It's very 3D judgy of me.
You dipped back
I
down
did.
to where you mentioned.
Yeah, and we do that a lot, don't
Yes,
we?
we do.
Absolutely.
We do.
It's
yeah.
hard to
It's
stay in the
comfortable.
fit.
Well,
It's
it's
what
what we
we
know.
know.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
this is about practicing. It's like, oh, I'll try. Stop trying, because
Just
that
do
gives
it.
yourself permission to fail. Keep
Yes.
practicing. And that's how the evolving goes.
To quote Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's how we get better at it.
Yeah,
That's
right?
how we
Like
get
the
better.
more, because it becomes more, you recognize that 3D as uncomfortable because you're
Mhm.
sitting in that other space
Right.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will we ever get to 5D and be able to stay there?
I hope
Yes.
Yes, you feel
I think
yes?
so.
Yes.
I feel like that's possible. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing is that right now, all of these systems across the world are breaking down, and it's really sometimes very difficult not to get caught up in that.
Very.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That
second
sigh says it
that.
all. Yeah. It is difficult not to get caught up in that.
And again, there are times that you see what's going on, and you got to know where your place is. I know that it's not so much as I get caught up in it, but I feel like I'm there to put some twists on it to help awaken some of the minds, because somebody needs to be poked a little bit. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
I don't know. Are we past that yet? We're I kind of feel like we are at a place where it's not our job to wake other people up anymore. It's their job to wake up.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's our job anymore.
But I think we could offer a different perspective. Like
Yes.
That's true.
a lot of friends reach out to me, and sometimes they'll be freaking out about the latest headline line, right? And
Yes.
just, they're going to round us up and take us to a camp. And I said, you know what? Maybe that could happen. I said, but I think they just want us to be afraid. And you know what? When that call comes out, and if you need a ride to the border, I'm your girl, because I can do something about that. But I right now can't do anything. Not going to be afraid.
Yeah, and that's exactly
Yeah.
it. That is
Yeah.
exactly it. It's kind of like what we were talking about before. Is about, well, the children, these little souls came in and they chose to be abused as children. And I've seen spiritual workers go, well, that's what they chose to. I will not interfere and turn the other cheek and walk away.
That's not okay.
No.
That's not okay. That is not okay.
Yeah.
And so there's that line is, I will never, ever walk away from a hurting child or a hurting animal. Never.
Right.
Well, and maybe that's your contract to be involved.
That's exactly
And
it.
that's part of their experience of,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this hurt. But look, this person reached out to me and maybe I can heal from this now. And
Yeah, and you
Mhm.
just, I guess working with the animals, they get over it so much faster
They
than
do.
we do.
They do.
They can. There's only been a handful of dogs that I have worked with that have not been able to shift because of the damage done to the brain or to really the soul.
Yes.
And but you still show up. You still love and respect
Yes.
them. And if you have to send that soul out of this life, then you sit with them because that is so sacred.
yes,
It is.
Mhm.
It is. Yes. To sit with a soul who is leaving the vessel behind
Yes.
is definitely sacred work, and it's not for everyone.
It isn't.
Yeah.
But that's what
It's
my
not
contract
easy.
is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
what we're talking about also is discernment.
Mhm.
Discernment being the difference between judgment. I mean, what is ours to do to help somebody and what is ours not to do? I hope I worded that okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that made
Yeah.
absolute sense. We
Yeah.
talked about that before, the difference between discernment and judgment. And
Mhm.
discernment, again, and you said it beautifully, so I'm going to hand it back to you because you said it so beautifully about the difference between discernment and judgment.
Let me try. Discernment is looking at both sides of a situation, both souls, and seeing what is and going, oh, I connect with that, but I don't connect with the other,
Mhm.
and moving on. And judgment is saying, well, you shouldn't be acting that way, and you're making me feel bad, and this is what you need to do to change it. So I think that's the wrong kind of help.
Yeah.
I liked how you said earlier before all this that judgment words involve adding ER to the end of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Why
Yes.
can't you be nicer? And words are so important,
Mhm.
right? So that's a really profound statement, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it is, I don't know, that just came out of my mouth. So somebody was channeling through me.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
I don't know who it was.
Maybe we want to clarify, because last night we did talk about what's the difference between mediumship, channeling,
Right.
all those things. So the different ways that we hear or know that spirit is talking with us. So why don't you?
Okay, so mediumship is when there's a spirit talking to me and I'm basically a translator between the spirit and the human, the physical human. Trance channeling, because there's different kinds of channeling. Trance channeling is when I leave my body, a being of higher light and love and energy comes in and uses my body to share a message. That's when the Pleiadian came through last night. That was trance channeling. The kind of channeling, well, the adding the ER to words can really create a judgment type thing. That was just something that kind of came through me. And I think it's a form of channeling, but it's not trance
It's like
channeling.
clairvoying or something. Yeah.
Because that's how I work. All of a sudden, I just start talking, and they says, "Can you repeat that?" No.
I I don't know. What did I
What
just
did
say?
I say? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think most of us do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's or I'll hear something come out of my mouth. I'm like, wow, that was brilliant. Where did
Yeah.
that come from?
I've had instances
Yeah.
like that, or
Right.
I'll have instances where I'll say something that sounds way more profound than I thought I was, and I'm like, wow, I'm not sure where that came from. That was pretty good.
Pretty-
Let
I'm
me get a
pretty
pen and
sure
paper.
it didn't come from here.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
letting the ego step aside. That
Right.
ego is not a bad thing. That ego has been here to help protect us and keep us on this planet. So instead of,
Keep it in check.
instead of judging the ego is bad, that ego is bad, you just say, the ego has been left unchecked for a long time. So I'm going to give my ego
A timeout.
no, I'm going to give it a
just
job.
need to acknowledge it and be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, and I'm
Oh,
just
I hear
saying
you,
right now,
but
I'm doing this. Your job here is just to take notes. And when you take notes and you try to interrupt what I'm doing over here, I'll just tell you that's a good idea. We'll get back to it later. Your job is to take notes. The ego has to have a job.
Right.
Oh.
Well, and the thing is, like, I have a friend who gave her ego a separate name from her name.
Yes, I've heard
Oh,
And
that's a
talked
good
to it.
idea.
Yeah. Talk to
Yeah,
it.
that's a good idea.
Talk to it like it was a different individual and going, we'll talk about that later. But right now I'm in control.
It's kind of like the child in your daycare preschool program that needs a job to keep them busy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, that's fine and good, and I see what you want to do, but how about you put away all the Play-Doh? Can you find all the lids for all the Play-Doh jars? I mean,
Right.
things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Right.
And some people don't need a job. Some people just can sit back and do nothing. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
No.
I need a job.
Yeah.
I need a job.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you're saying the ego is separate. I understand that, but would you call that duality in yourself?
I think within ourselves, that is
Yes,
duality.
yes.
We have our higher consciousness. And then again, the ego's job is to protect us. Right.
Right.
So that's where fear comes from. So
do you think the ego travels with the soul then?
I was just
I don't
gonna
think
ask
so.
Or
that.
is this like a physical body construct?
I
like,
think it's a physical body construct.
like you can't cross that road in front of that truck because that's going to be bad for you.
Right.
This is
Right.
very
But,
different.
coming in as pure spirit, if we didn't have that protective
We wouldn't know.
mechanism,
We'd be like,
we wouldn't know. We just walk right in front of the truck.
Right.
So it's really part of our soul, but
physical.
separate at the same time.
I don't think it travels lifetime to lifetime.
I think for some people it does.
You think so?
I think so.
Depending on the
I've come
trauma.
across a situation within the last year, and yeah.
I think that we carry, the lessons lifetime to
Yes.
lifetime.
Yeah.
We carry but the ego, I don't know. Is it the
It's-
same ego or is it a different ego?
Well, see, and this is where I'm really starting to just play this one out, because what I've also discovered is a lot of the ancestral illnesses, hereditary illnesses, schizophrenia, dementia. I have discovered that this one gentleman, literally, I had to go back 7 generations into his Akashic records and clear, because it started with an attachment.
Okay.
And then it just kept developing
So
through each year, through each lifetime.
So did the attachment become the ego?
I don't know that yet, but I do know it became the illness.
Okay.
It manifested in an illness.
So, is the ego, maybe you carry the ego forward because the past did not heal that, so that part of the ego could come
That's
through to you.
possible. That this is a good discussion.
Yeah, I think
Because
everything's possible.
everything's possible. We
Yeah.
don't have the full understanding yet, but we're starting to ask the questions.
I'm thinking and hearing that if you have unresolved issues in the past or past
Yes.
lives,
Yeah.
ancestral,
Yeah.
that ego, or at least a part of that ego, is going to continue until you figure it out.
Well, and it's kind of
So I
like,
think it is connected.
I think there is.
the brother to your soul or
Well,
something.
okay, so it's like over the lifetimes through any of our traumas, or we sometimes lose an aspect of our soul. And have you ever heard the term, I don't feel complete? And it's because, especially of those who have, my sister, for one, she went out of body and never fully came back in, and then she blacked it all out. So there's aspects that are missing, and we have to go back
And get them.
and get them and bring them back. So is the ego still part of that? I don't know.
Well, if you don't mind, I have this friend who had this reading from this Akashic person in the future, and that future person thanked her for going through what she did now,
Yes.
so that she didn't have to carry it. So there has to be
Wow.
some connection,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is that your ego or is that your soul?
That's your soul.
That's your soul.
That's your
That
soul.
that part
You
is
don't-
your soul.
but-
But is the the illnesses and the behaviors part of that ego?
I
Because
think
it's
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't think so.
But
I-
the ego,
it-
I think the ego helps you. I lost the thought.
ego is supposed to protect us, but sometimes we don't need the protection.
Right.
They're keeping us from something
Okay.
that we
Elevating.
need to evolve
Yeah.
from.
Why do you disagree?
Well, I think that the only way we can learn from life to life is by leaving that ego and starting over. I know that sounds bizarre, but I think
No.
that's all.
No, I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right, because the ego would
That's
hold the memory.
over.
Yeah.
That's done.
Right.
That
So,
is-
you know,
Okay.
the lesson can move forward, but to start over clean, so to speak,
Yes.
Right.
you would need to have a new protection mechanism.
Yeah. A new play.
Okay, so
An
your-
evolved ego.
So your soul
There you
has
go.
not learned a lesson, so that you're gonna still have ego, even if it's not the same ego.
Right.
So you're gonna still have ego that'll help you figure that out so it's gonna feel like the same energy ego.
Because
I'm
it's the same,
confusing
it's the same
myself.
energy that's moving
Yes,
forward, but
yes,
I feel like the ego as the identity
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
is different in every lifetime.
Yes.
Because
Okay,
Right.
yes.
Because if I was, say, a sea captain in the 1700s,
Mhm.
and then I come back now as who I am now, I don't need the same set of fears.
Right.
I don't
Right.
need the same
Right,
set of
right.
survival mechanisms.
You've already learned them.
Right.
But
But
if you
it-
haven't, the ego is gonna be there to help you serve that.
Right, but
purpose
this
of
body came with a
getting
new ego.
through it.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
so,
New
but
set of
that's
things.
part of evolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for many, they bring that ego along because they still have memories of their past lives, or from one generation to the other, carrying the energy of your generations of 7 generations ago, and you bring those patterns, and finally you go, I gotta stop and reevaluate. I need to go back and heal that generational healing. And I think that is also when you pick up a new way of doing things in a different.
Okay, this just came to me, and I think we aren't born with an ego. It is learned.
I think so. It's a
Yeah.
conditioned
that's
response.
So then
conditioned
therefore
response.
it would not come over
Right.
because it's brand new.
And that would
Okay.
explain
Oh.
why each lifetime you have a new set of concerns, right?
Right.
Yep.
Of what's going to be a risk
Mhm.
versus not.
Right.
And
And I think when your soul remembers that ancestral damage,
Yes.
and the ego gives it a voice, right?
Yeah.
That makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Ah.
I don't know where that came from.
You are all
Trauma.
witnessing some aha moments here. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Yeah, that was really good. I think that's probably true, because we don't need the same survival mechanisms. We don't need the same fear mechanisms. We have different ones from lifetime to lifetime, because we're not just carrying stuff over. And the generational thing confuses me, because I don't know that I'm part of the same generational line as far as like DNA and genetics go. in this lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
That was a couple of lifetimes before. You've evolved.
Right, but okay, so again, this is a
Yeah.
hypothetical
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah.
A sea captain in the 1700s, let's say my soul was that person, but is that person in my physical genetic line that I'm in right now?
Possibly,
Possibly,
Possibly.
but not
Not likely.
necessarily.
right? Like
So-
I don't know. I feel like ancestry isn't always genetics.
I
Like
agree.
there's your
Both.
genetic family, biological
Yeah.
family
Right.
versus
Your soul family.
yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the,
Yeah.
yes. So as we evolve, we start to shift past that old genetic thinking, that old genetic pattern, and we shift out of it and say, I don't claim this.
Right.
Right.
So, before I forget my thought again, so we tend to carry on that generational trauma.
For some people need to.
Yes. But can't you also carry on generational non-trauma?
Gifts.
Good.
Absolutely.
So if there's all this
yes.
good, we can carry that with us to help build and help us
Yes.
strengthen the issues that were the
You-
negative stuff.
You take those gifts and put them to use to help resolve those fragments of things that you feel like is holding you back.
And that's where we get into soul retrieval,
That's
Soul
soul
Because-
retrieval.
Soul knowledge.
because we leave parts of
Parts.
ourselves behind in all types of situations, and it's not always trauma.
You gotta go
That's
back
right.
and get it.
It's
Well,
not
and-
always trauma.
And it's like
Oh,
when my
yeah.
grandfather came
I'm
through.
learning a lot right now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's like when my grandfather came through and I was avoiding communicating with the males in my family. And at one meeting, I just said, well, I think it's time that I connect with my grandfather. And before the meditation, the journey even started, he stepped right in and he said, I have a soul piece missing. And I knew exactly what I needed to do. I went and got it, brought it back, gave it to him. And I said, what is this about? And he says, shame.
Okay.
And he was ashamed that he was not a strong enough man to stop his wife from harming others.
Okay. I'm going to go to a completely different scenario
Okay. Yeah.
in soul retrieval.
Yes.
So someone came to me one time years ago, actually now, who came back from a 3-week vacation, like a really extended. And for her, that was really extended. And she's like, I just cannot get my head together since I've been back. What the heck is wrong with me?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. Let's check. So I connected with her energy and went, okay, where is this piece of her that is missing? And I found that piece of her sitting on a beach, looking at the ocean, not wanting to come back from vacation.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can relate.
Okay.
Words
Yeah.
are powerful.
Right?
It is.
Right. So I'm like, I know you're really enjoying yourself, but
You got
you got to come back and reconnect because this isn't working for you as a whole.
Yeah. As a
So-
whole. Yeah.
So, bringing that piece back, and she was like, oh God, I feel so much better, but how many of us,
Is that kind of the same then as when someone passes and they are stuck in that loop and they don't
Yeah,
cross over?
kind of,
That's
yeah.
kind of their version of
that's
like
kind of their
a
version.
soul thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, we do leave ourselves other places, not because of trauma necessarily,
Yeah.
but because we're really enjoying ourselves,
Yeah.
because we're really having fun where
Like-
we are. We don't want to leave.
Oh, this is what fun feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have actually seen paranormal investigators do this where it kind of turns on them, where that part of their soul stays at, let's say, a location that they were investigating, and they're still trying to figure something out, but that curiosity keeps them stuck there.
Mhm.
And then they come back and they're like, oh, I have an attachment. Well, maybe, but chances are you just left part of yourself there.
attached.
So
Yeah.
you're
You're
attached
attached
over
to-
You're
here.
attached.
Yeah.
You're
Meanwhile,
attached.
they're going, I have an attachment.
Yes, because they know something's wrong.
Yeah.
They know something doesn't feel complete.
Well, it is an attachment attached
To the location, or attached to whatever spirit they may have encountered, or
Yeah.
attached to the experience that they had that their brain just can't process.
Yeah.
you know? So I see that a lot with paranormal investigators.
Yeah, I have
You
seen
know?
some things too. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or people who are not paranormal investigators, but they have a paranormal experience. And then they're like, oh my God, I can't figure this out. What the heck? And then that part of them stays stuck in trying to figure out that experience because they can't explain it to themselves.
Right.
So,
Did you just
that's
hear
part of
that?
it.
Another
Aha.
We seem to be doing really well with the ahas
Yes,
today.
yeah.
Deb, did you have something that you wanted to contribute? You've been sitting here pretty quiet this whole discussion.
I'm basically just absorbing. I've been around this all my life, but it was never really talked about. My mother's a medium. My dad, they both were spiritualistic ministers since the 90s, had their own church, but they didn't really explain stuff. I just kind of absorbed little bits here and there. Now I'm trying to put it all together and learn
Okay.
where I'm supposed to be now.
Okay.
you're here. That's where you're supposed to be.
You know
That's a
what? Yeah,
start.
what I envisioned when you were talking was you have a jigsaw puzzle and you got all the pieces, but you're trying to figure out how to put them together.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Right,
fits
yeah.
where.
It's missing
Right.
the lid.
Missing the
Yeah.
lid.
That has the picture.
Yeah.
But the picture's missing. Or
Yes.
parts of
Oh,
the
the
picture are
picture's
missing.
missing.
So I
That's
don't know
really
where.
That was a
I'm
really good
looking
part
for
of the
the guidance
analogy.
to
Yeah.
help
That's
me
really hard.
Yeah,
put
so,
this together.
so that's where you literally set the intention. Spirit, help show me today what piece I'm missing.
Yeah,
Clarity. Show me where this piece fits.
where my direction is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and maybe the direction is this piece sits here.
Yeah.
And tomorrow you'll get another piece. You're going, looking at it, well, I'm just going to put it over in this corner. And pretty soon they start linking together and you're going, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you'll forever look for the piece that fell on the floor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now that
you'll find it in
now
5D.
I've learned
Yes.
there are people I can talk to find
Right.
and help me find it.
Right.
Yes.
And finding your community is so important.
Oh.
Huge.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing, our community, like-minded people are gathering together and the others are falling away.
Well, they're doing their own.
They're doing
gatherings.
their own thing.
Mhm.
And you're just, it's like people come into your life and they move off to the side and sometimes they come back in and then new people come in. I love it because it's like, oh, there are so many amazing people out here.
There is.
Yeah.
It's not always pretty though.
It's
Can I say that when you start to lose so many people, you start to be afraid to let the ones that should fall away
And-
because you're like,
Yeah.
but then I have nothing,
And
And
that's
that's-
back in the
and
3D.
And
It's
that's back in the
very hard.
3D
It's
and the
lack.
fear.
and the
Okay.
lack.
Deb was trying to say
That
something over
kind of
here.
goes with what I was just thinking, that your community doesn't have to be right physically where you are.
Right.
But your
Absolutely.
community can be anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can connect with them.
Yes.
Right.
And
Right.
we have the technology to connect.
Yeah.
Yes, we
it's
have the
Yeah.
technology.
We have the technology.
It's really, I for the last, I think it's been 4 years, have belonged to an online women's group. And we're a small group. I think there are 7 of us. Ooh, there's 7. Okay. So
7.
7 is a magic number.
Yes, it is.
So-
Yes, it is.
I've only met one of them in person, and that was just a few months ago.
Nice.
But we are so close, and we know that we can go into that chat room and go, is anybody else freaking out today? Because I'm really freaking out today.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with this energy? And we can really go to that and really communicate with people. And the 7 of us are broken up into 2 different countries, and none of us live anywhere near each other. So it's really kind of cool that, we have that connection and we can just go, okay, we can either confirm or validate or whatever it is that we need. And if somebody has a different perspective, they put it into the chat and we're like, oh, I didn't think of that. Kind of like what we've been doing since yesterday. Oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, that's a great perspective. Yeah.
But I don't think our friends have to fall by the wayside because they don't they're not here about the 5G.
They're
That's
not-
they're not
different.
with us on that because,
No.
you know, Barbie here doesn't bike ride. I bike ride.
Okay.
So I have another friend that bike rides. Barbara's my spiritual friend. I mean, we can have other.
Yes,
friends,
that's-
other
yes,
friendships.
yeah.
On different
absolutely.
levels.
And that
Can
impact
Absolutely.
us.
But someone doesn't have to be spiritually minded to have a high vibration either.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so it's about vibration. It's about frequency.
Right.
So, you know, your bicycling friend can have the same kind of frequency that you have without going into the metaphysical.
Right. Right.
So
So we don't want to push anybody.
No, right.
right.
I think that's a
Right.
really
Yeah.
good point.
I think it is the unhealthy relationship.
Correct. They're
Correct,
harming
right.
your sovereignty or
Right.
Yes.
holding you back
They're
from
unhealthy
something.
for you. Absolutely.
Exactly.
We
Have
need
some
to
boundaries.
Put them by the, we need to move on.
Yeah.
right.
The first time I met you was at a retreat in person.
Right.
But when I got there, I'm like, oh, hi, Kristina. And I felt like I knew you forever.
Right.
And then I realized this is the first time I met you.
Right.
Mhm.
And it was so weird because it's like I just felt like I knew you.
Mhm.
You know, and there's been a couple people here too. I'm gonna point you out. I'm like, yeah, but do I?
do.
It's like,
yeah.
do I know you?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
it's
we're-
weird.
Yes.
It was you and you. It's like I don't.
I
know
won't point you
why.
out.
And
but
there's
it's
such
you
a
and you.
feeling too,
Yeah.
right? Like it's almost like a contact high on some level. Because
Yeah.
when you step
And
out
I
of that,
stared
there's
at
like
you.
there's
I'm
like a you know, when you
Yeah.
gotta sink back down and
But
Yeah.
at this point, have we known each other? Has our souls
Possibly.
touched before?
oh,
I found
absolutely.
it
Absolutely
so
familiar to me.
I did too. I thought
Yeah.
too.
You know,
Absolutely.
we can do that later.
I just
Yeah.
It's
didn't
like a
have this-
magnet drawing
Right.
it together.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
sometimes
frequency
you
for
wonder
me.
why am I drawn to this person and not that?
right.
You know,
Yeah.
or
Right.
Pheromones.
Pheromones.
Oh,
Okay, that's valid.
another thing.
Totally different conversation,
Yes,
but
yes,
that's
yes.
valid.
I had this thing pop into my head a minute ago too. Escalator. If you're at, because we had talked about levels and souls and 3D and 5D, and we talked about helping someone. Maybe we're supposed to help someone reach that. And this just occurred to me. It's like being on an escalator.
When they're
And this
stuck and they
person's-
can't get on.
Well, that, but I'm thinking you're all going up. You're here. These people are here, and these people are at the top. If you're at the top, do you look back and go, "Oh no," and go back down and try to
Mhm.
pull them up?
No,
You don't
No.
because you know. So, but I thought that was kind of a neat analogy.
that
You
is.
can wait
That's
at the
really
top.
neat.
You can wait at the top and help them, or
You could wait at the top and go, "Welcome."
Yeah, well,
Welcome.
they're there.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, but they have to make the trip.
They have to do it.
choose to get
And-
on the escalator and
Yes.
go
By
up.
themselves.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
all
by
have
themselves.
to do our own work.
Yes.
Right.
That's what it boils down to. We
Yeah.
all have to do our own work.
Yeah. It was just dinging in my head. Escalator, escalator, escalator. I'm like, okay, I'll say it.
Awesome.
There's channeling.
Yeah.
There's channeling.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. What was the other thing that you had all written out? Oh, NPCs.
NPC.
NPCs.
Non-player characters. Okay, so a non-player character is someone who kind of just has like this, they have like one or two things that they talk about, and this comes from the gaming world, and you can explain it better than I can. So explain what
Like
an
if you
NPC
were
is.
in a tabletop, well, all right. So I can relate it to World of Warcraft, right? Which is this medieval fantasy game. And let's say you are running into the merchant shop to buy a potion. That merchant behind the counter is an NPC. So they're there for a specific function. They're doing something, but they are not part of this. They are not part of your personal story.
I get it.
Right? Or like if you're doing a tabletop game, the storytellers will create NPCs like you're fighting this dude who, you know, it's not another person playing the game. It's just someone that you need to defeat to get to this goal or that has a particular function. They're kind of expendable in a way.
Okay.
Okay, so that's an NPC in the gaming world.
Yes.
I will just share an experience that I had where I walked into a gas station and there were two young men who were working there, And one of them was talking to the other one and said, did you see that guy? Like there was nothing behind his eyes. Like he was completely blank. And the other one's like, yeah, I noticed that. It was weird. And I'm standing there. I'm like, yeah, that was an NPC. And they're like, yes, that's exactly it. But it's
they
like,
got it.
you know, and they got it. They understood it from that standpoint. They were probably in their early 20s, you know, so part of the
Gaming culture.
the gaming culture that a lot of people in their 20s are. And I mean, my husband is not 20 and he's in the gaming culture, but you know, a lot of times it is the younger generations, and they were like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. That that fits. It's like he's doing his function, but he's not really connected. Not really connected, just kind of there doing their function. And typically the NPCs, and this can get into we could go down rabbit holes with this. We could go down some really deep rabbit holes with something like this. Well, those people were placed there, you know, just to show you what that looks like when you don't have a soul. Or go ahead.
Could they just be lower dimension than
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
could
like
be.
a 2D
Exactly.
person,
They
They're
could be.
here.
and we're out here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just in a
this
different
ball of
frequency.
energy
They can't
and
see
we're
you.
in another
Yeah.
one.
Right. And again, without
Yeah.
using the ER words, you know, is it higher? Or is it lower? It's just a different frequency.
Different.
They vibrate
Yes.
differently,
Okay.
you
Sorry.
know,
Yes.
keeping the judgment out of it. And that wasn't a shaming thing,
No,
but
no,
it's
But that's
it-
interesting, lower and higher. And it's like, well, you are
Yeah.
Yeah.
placing a
And
judgment
I was.
on
We
that
should say-
frequency.
Because we're on
Right.
this plane, we
Yeah.
have to
Higher,
put things.
ER two or old.
It's a
I just think it's
measurement,
an older soul and a younger soul.
Yeah,
Could be.
which doesn't really connotate judgment.
Right.
You're
They're
just
just
right.
not as,
they just
they
haven't been
haven't
here
been
as many
through as
times.
many times.
They
Yeah.
haven't been through the first
awakening.
grade. You know, you get kindergarten and then you get first grade and second grade, and pretty soon you get into the seventh grade and you're, I'm really starting to learn
I am.
this. And then you think, well, I could do college work. You know, you're still in seventh grade.
I would say those people aren't going home.
Right. Absolutely. Those people aren't going home.
Yes.
Because you have to choose.
You have to choose.
And if they're conditioned to just
Well, and if that's
walk
where
the
the,
line,
But if
if
that's-
that's
if
where
that
they
is
are
what-
right now,
But if that is what their
Yeah.
job is right
That's what their
now,
job
and
is.
maybe
It's
that's what they're fine
perfect.
with.
Right.
Exactly.
it's perfect.
It's their path.
It's their
Yeah.
path.
Yes.
I
Right.
was, when we were talking about that, I kept seeing the in movies where they have the extras
Mhm.
placed in.
Mhm.
They're there for visual effects.
Exactly.
kind of.
Right?
But you know, how often have we been that person for other people?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Right. I
how
was
often
gonna
have
ask.
we been the NPCs? And how many lifetimes was I the one who wasn't getting it?
Yep.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the judgment comes in.
Right.
You know, point a finger and you got three pointing back at you.
Right.
I have been where they are.
Yeah.
And that's where empathy and
Mhm.
compassion
Compassion
comes in.
comes in,
We're all
absolutely.
one. We've been there. We can understand.
I might have been there a couple of times before I finally
Correct.
got it.
Correct.
Maybe more than a couple.
Yes.
I was talking about myself though, not you.
No, I'm
but-
thinking
Yeah.
the same thing.
Right.
When you refer to those people maybe in 5D or 4, whatever, don't see someone in 3D or vice
It's more
versa.
the other way
It's the-
around.
Oh, yeah.
It's
okay.
more the other
They
way
can't- it's
around.
hard to
So-
because-
step up.
yeah. They,
Okay.
you know, someone who is very much entrenched in the physical world.
Yeah.
In the physical world, which is what we're referring to as 3D. Sometimes they can't see the higher vibration people. You know, those are the people who say, I never saw a ghost. That doesn't even
Oh.
exist. What are you talking about? Because they can't see the higher frequency energies.
It's another form of NPC.
Okay. So does
Kind of,
that
yeah.
mean they physically do not see a body at all?
Oh,
No,
You're-
no,
you-
I
I don't
okay.
think so.
you're
Sometimes it's just a
you're not
feeling you
seeing your
might get,
soul.
right?
They're not-
Like I'm having a conversation with this friend of mine, and I don't feel seen. I don't feel
I get
heard
it. Okay.
because they're so entrenched in their own thing, their own
Yeah.
sphere that they just can't. They don't have the ability
Yes.
to pull out of that. Like, and that's why I use the radar
Okay.
thing, right? Like, this is the radar, and I'm here. Like, they might see me, but
nothing's getting through.
And
They're
we
not
all, we
registering,
all
right.
still do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you meant, but I just
Mhm.
wanted to clarify because I was thinking, does she really mean like we don't see them at all?
No, I physically take up
Invisible.
space.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
physically, I am absolutely there, and they
Right.
see my physicality, but they don't.
It's
Right.
beyond
I am
that.
going to say though that sometimes I will be in a space with other people and someone will literally, like in a grocery store,
Walk into you.
walk right into me and they're like, "Oh, I didn't see you."
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like they literally
Oh.
did not see me even though I
Yeah.
was standing right there.
Well, in a restaurant, there's a couple of us went out to this pizza place, and we go in and sit down, and the waiter and the waitress kept serving everybody around us, but totally missed us
Right.
until
because-
we actually reached out.
Yep.
We're ready. Oh,
Yeah, like they just didn't even
They
see
didn't
you
see-
because you're in a different frequency. They
Yeah.
can't see you.
it was so interesting to observe because we were
Right.
just talking about that about a couple of hours ago, and we were just watching it. We're going, "Do you see what's playing out?" Yeah. It was-
But it is
I've-
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, but I didn't know why
Why?
they were missing
Okay.
yeah.
that table or us or
You just got another
whatever.
puzzle piece.
Yeah. She's got a corner now.
She's
Got one.
no, you have more than one.
You do.
You have
Yeah.
way more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that, you know, we just become imperceptible, maybe is a better way. We don't literally become invisible,
Right.
but they just don't perceive
That'd be
us
cool,
because that would be
Yeah,
cool.
that would be.
But they don't perceive us because we're not within their frequency range.
right.
You
Okay.
know,
That's kind of what I thought it meant, but
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm wondering if you know get to a level and you just don't dismiss people altogether. You're like, I don't even see them.
Only our body.
Yeah.
but if you think about it, you know, there are so many different timelines on this planet right now that there could be other people staying in this exact same Airbnb as we are at the same
Yep.
time, and we would not know it because they're in a different frequency.
And that's
They're
when
in a
you're
different
hearing.
timeline.
I'm not ready for that yet.
And that's fine.
I had a
That's fine, that's
hairline
fine, yeah.
understanding of that, but I'm like, oh no.
So,
You're
but she
not
does hear
sleeping
voices
alone.
in
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah. And she does scream in the middle.
She
of it.
does.
She's seen little people.
There were these little beings anyway.
I have seen the little beings by sleeping up there. So I am
Ah.
believing you
Well, I
completely.
don't think they were supposed to. Okay, this
Yes,
is
they
another
were
conversation.
They're in a different
They weren't
frequency.
supposed
Yeah.
to be scary. There was
No.
nothing really
No.
innately
No.
scary or
You were
threatening,
just
but
surprised.
I
Yeah.
freaked out. I'm like, what do you want?
They probably didn't see you.
Yeah.
I saw them kind of floating around, little weirdos.
That's a
That's a
judgment.
judgment.
Yes, I know.
All
I
right.
said sorry.
There's
Okay.
a new T-shirt going on my Printify site. No judgment.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, but really, it is that even like our physical senses, there is so much we can't perceive from our
Yes.
physicality. There's so much of the light spectrum we can't even perceive.
Our brains are too small.
Yeah,
It's too
Yeah.
much for us.
it's too much for our physicalness to be able to hear everything in existence, see everything in existence. Like we just don't see a lot, but the higher vibration we go, the higher our frequency becomes, the more we can see because it broadens.
Can we say that social media doesn't help either?
No.
Like I feel like
think
we
it
take
can,
in
though.
so I think it can to a certain degree, but I think we take in so much data and noise
Yeah.
that you need to be very selective about narrowing that down and having some quiet so you can connect.
Right. If you have
Because
things
that's
popping
part
up,
of the
Yes.
distraction.
If
It's
you have-
part of the distraction.
if you have things popping up in your social media feed that is bringing down your
Yeah.
energy,
Uh-huh.
delete,
Yeah,
block.
exactly.
There's some things I read that just literally, and I think I'm above it. No pun intended, but I'll read it and I'll read somebody's comment or whatever, and I'll be literally, oh.
Yeah, you deflate.
And I'll
Yeah.
say that I
And
feel
it's not
deflated, like, oh,
That's
and then
when you
judgment.
just-
How
yeah.
can they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
and I
Don't
just
do
go
it.
past it.
Yeah.
It takes me a little effort. But it
But
sits
the
with
thing
me for
is,
a
so
little
that
bit.
that you are in charge of your own algorithm,
Yeah.
and I think
Mhm.
people forget that
Yes,
Mhm.
they.
Yeah.
we are
Yes.
in charge of our own algorithm by what we pay attention to.
That's true.
You know?
And that's probably, you could probably apply that metaphysically, spiritually,
Yeah, and physically,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and in the physical world, we have the same thing. We bring into our attention what we pay attention to.
But is it brought into our attention? Are we bringing it into our attention because we need to see it?
In
and
some
address
cases.
In some cases, I know for
And
you,
do
Sherry, you've
something.
always wanted to, words are important
Yeah,
and you want to have conversations.
I do.
You want to have conversations with people to help for you to understand where they're thinking and try to convince them otherwise.
It's not so much to convince them.
Mm.
There is that.
Oh.
But part of it is, I think it's our job to try
To understand.
to understand and try to raise the overall, not change a person, the overall vibration. This is a thought here. I'm going to say this. This is my thought. Take it or leave it. And I know my ego's going, you better take it. But I'm like, okay, I can move on. And then my higher self is like, just leave it.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm much better about doing that now than I used to, because I used to just keep pounding it in. What don't you get?
See, sometimes I think there's a curiosity to it, to the human experience and the human condition. And when someone is going through some shit, there's always that part of me that wants to say, tell me about that. Like I want to learn about through their experience.
That's different.
right?
That is different.
That's empathy.
How is that different?
Because what I have seen is that there is a judgment of what that person's perspective is and their words.
Right.
And I want to understand it, but then I want you to hear me.
Well, I don't may or may
No,
not say something
but-
back.
right.
But I
Sometimes
have-
I just
yeah,
want
but
to
I
There's
have
two
seen
experience it.
Two
Yeah.
through them.
distinct.
There's two different
This
ways.
That's the first is you want to give back your feedback.
Right? No.
The
Yeah.
other is
That's
just
ego.
If they
Yeah.
ask
learning.
for it,
Yeah.
I have to
Fine.
just
Then, yeah.
Sometimes I sit at my keyboard and no.
No.
exactly.
Back.
No.
Yes.
Delete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have the day you deserve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little.
Well, but that also comes back down to listen. There's a difference between listening and hearing. I'm listening. I hear what you say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like holding space for someone.
Yeah, and so many times we're listening to have a response.
Yes.
And hearing is showing that compassion and really hearing from the heart
Yeah.
what they're saying. And I think
Oh,
that
that-
moves into the 5D
Right.
because you're not attached.
Correct.
You're
what I'm
sitting
trying
there
to-
and you're holding space for them
Yeah.
with out of love and respect.
Compassion. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a person in my life who always says, "You're not listening to me." No, I am listening to you. I repeated back exactly what you just said. I simply don't agree with you.
Yes.
Yes.
there's a
I've
difference.
had that.
Yeah.
My family would say, "You don't listen," and I says, "I
Oh.
am listening,
Yeah.
but it doesn't resonate for truth with me."
Mhm.
Well, then you're not listening.
I'm listening. I'm just not letting you convince me to agree with
Well,
you
and-
because those are two
Exactly.
different things.
And then they call me stubborn because I
Oh,
won't
Me
change.
too.
So yeah, I can be stubborn because I know my truth.
Mm-hmm.
And when I know differently, when I see things differently, feel things differently, I move the goalpost.
See, the thing, truth, though, the word truth,
Yeah.
the word truth is a trigger word.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
it
a
is.
trigger word
It is.
because
Everybody's truth is different.
everybody's
Everybody's
truth is
truth-
different, but there are, how many of us want everyone to believe our truth?
Right.
I think we just want to be seen.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
We do. We want
We
to
want
be
to
seen.
We just
We
want,
want
to
to
be
be
able to say,
respected.
"Here, how was your day?" And to actually have someone listen and say, "Well, I'm sorry that happened to you," or,
Yeah.
like to just really hear and see us.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when
That's your
when
3D
listening,
though. That's
Yeah,
back there.
yeah, it
That's
is.
back down.
That's justification.
Yeah.
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 So,
When,
you
when
know,
it's
it
being
kinda
heard
is,
and being
isn't it?
agreed
It
with
is.
are not the same thing, So
Mhm.
we can say, "I just want you to hear me," but when we're saying that, are we looking for what is the word?
Validation.
That's the word I'm looking for.
We're
Validation.
looking to actually control the way that person is thinking.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's very 3D.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's where, it is, because 3D is about control. It's about restriction. It's about constriction.
Mhm.
It's about
Well,
keeping everybody following the rules,
Mhm.
even if they don't make sense.
oh,
A
that's
good
so
ex-
not me.
A good example is that a few weeks ago I hit a deer and there was a lot of activity going on. A few of my friends, I was like, I just hit a deer. And of course, the traditional, are you okay? Is everything okay? Came out, yes. But it wasn't until I actually sat down with you and you looked at me and said, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Are you
like that.
really okay?
Yeah.
And that was the,
Mhm.
so you were the first one to say, hey, human, are you okay?
Yeah.
Not just this iced glazed over,
Right.
this is what we say now, like I'm sneezing, bless you, right? Like,
Yeah.
did you really mean it? You know?
Mhm.
You know that I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up, because a year and a half ago, my sister and I, we were traveling in Iowa, making our way back into Wisconsin, and we're in the middle of the state, and we're only like 30 minutes from her house.
Oh boy.
And we're just traveling along, and I see this deer cross the road a quarter of a mile in front of me. I slow
Slow
down.
down.
I
Wait for the
slow
second
down.
one.
I wait for the
There's
second
one.
one. And that one turned around and came back
Yep.
and literally went right under my front tire. And I won't explain what, but we get out and I'm examining what's going on, and I'm looking at the deer, and I'm calling the police and I'm talking to them. And my sister said, you were so calm. She goes, you were so calm. And I remained calm through that entire scenario. It was like, I'm just observing.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm just observing.
Yeah.
And it was like when she recognized
Yeah.
how calm I was, she was just in shock that I could
Right.
do that.
Well,
Which kept her
at
calm.
a certain point, what else can you do?
Right.
But
know?
yeah.
So
I know
you
people are.
just try to like, okay, we're gonna get through. Did you have a moment later when you reacted? When
No,
really?
I just
Oh,
remained calm
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
through the entire scenario, even when my car is 4 hours away in a shop that I have no control over where it was,
Right.
Yeah.
and the delay and the delay and the delay. And I was just like,
Mhm.
well, we'll
Here
get a
we are.
rental car.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll have to take the rental car back to get a different rental car. What do you mean I have to go online to rent the car? And then I went online and rent the car, and I get there and the car isn't available.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I
I've
was
had that
calm
happen
through the
too.
whole thing.
Yeah.
An inner peace.
It was just like, oh, well, here we go.
Guess I don't
It's
need a car
almost-
today.
I know.
Right.
For 3 months.
Don't
Wait,
say
can
that.
I
I'm
just
still waiting for my
rewrite this
car.
car?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's just very interesting as you start to recognize that how you are reacting to the world around you. 10 years ago, I probably would have been like, oh my God, I don't have a car. I can't get to work. I blah, 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 blah. And this time it was just like, oh, we'll figure it out.
There's nothing
Yeah.
you can do about
Right.
it
What can you control?
immediately.
Yeah. But 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'm looking at all this. I got to do
All
this. I
these
got to do this. I got to put
negatives,
this.
Well,
da,
look
da, da,
what's
da.
on TV and look at like culturally, everybody's spazzing out.
Yeah.
So it kind of feeds this. You should be dramatic. You should,
Right.
if
Well,
you
if
have a
you're-
disagreement with somebody, you should get physically mad, angry with them. And
Don't you care?
yeah,
Well, you
Cared you be yeah.
Well, you didn't respond like you cared.
yeah, right. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Expectations are
Yeah,
premeditated resentments.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
thinking
wait,
of-
wait. Say that again.
Yeah.
Expectations are premeditated resentments.
Yes.
I'm writing this
Yeah.
down.
I say that all the time.
Expectations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because
That
that's
was
a really important
Because you're
point.
the one setting those expectations,
Right.
and you're just setting yourself up to be disappointed.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Premeditated what?
Premeditated expectations are premeditated resentments.
Resentments. I was another thought dinged into my head. Except his going out the train station again. Choo-choo. Sorry. With children, it'll come back to me with children. Oh, you said people expect you to be more dramatic and more angry, and I am very emotional. I am, and I wasn't always. Whatever. But with children, people will see something happening and say a parent will be really calm and pick up their kid and not say anything, and the kids screaming, and these parents don't do anything about their kids. Well, that parent may have been doing everything they could, because yelling at your kid in the store or demanding that they sit down is useless. You might as well just go home, pick them up. That's what you're doing about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying I was always that calm, cool, and collected. I was always like, you don't sit down right now.
Right.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
No,
But yeah.
we're leaving.
yeah.
You know,
Yes,
that-
we're leaving.
Yeah,
That-
put this back.
Oh yeah, I picked
Yeah.
my kid, left the car, picked my kids up and left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've done
Um,
that.
It's so hard, especially if you've spent so much time
Well,
there.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But
Yeah.
anyway.
But what you said brought back a memory. My granddaughter
Oh.
was in the hospital with cancer, and they let her out, and then she had to go back to school into first grade.
Oh.
And she was so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she gets into the classroom and she tells the teacher, I'm tired. I hurt. And she started to cry.
Oh.
And the teacher says, don't cry. You make us all feel bad.
Oh.
So the school called her mother. Her mother called me, and I drove to pick up Michaela. And we're walking down the hallway. She's holding my hand and she says, Grandma, they told me I can't cry. And I looked at her and I says, you cry anytime you want to cry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we called the school and says, that will never happen again. She's sick. She is sick, and you will respect that she's
We
sick.
need more compassion
We
for
need-
people.
Right. And
Yeah.
here she is. She's sick, and you're asking her to be like all the other kids.
Right.
And so you don't feel bad.
Don't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That just triggered me. It was
Yeah.
like putting these expectations on children
Yeah.
That's true.
so you feel better.
Well, and people do it with their animals too.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
Like I expect my dog to act a certain way. Well, no, I'm going to meet my dog where he's at.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the dog around small children. That's not what he's
Yeah.
about.
No.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, they all have personalities and needs, and
Exactly.
you meet them where they're at.
It's
I tell
not what
people,
you need
know
them
your
to be.
breed. Do not expect a beagle not to bark and dig.
I don't want to be the devil's advocate, because I do believe what you're saying. I feel for you, whatever. But let's take our position to the teacher who has 20 first
Yes.
graders. And if one cries, then
They're all
they
gonna
all
cry.
get upset and cry,
I-
and she has to deal with that.
Yeah. I
get
understand
it.
that, but there is another way.
I
Don't-
agree.
Like she should have just asked her, like, let's go down to the
Yes.
nurse's
Nurse
office,
station,
or
lay
let's
down.
go,
Yeah,
right?
that's a higher thinking, and that is
Right.
later
Yeah.
on you learn these kinds of things in child development classes and stuff too. But it does take some thought to go from that to you need to cry. Let's go over here. There's a space. Safe
Yeah.
You need
Yes.
to
Safe
learn
space.
that. You
Yeah.
need to learn
Yeah.
that.
Because we weren't
Right.
raised that way.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Because I can
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Don't cry.
see it.
Mhm.
But this is how I would do it, because I'm
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
you're-
do that.
this well I'm
And you're
hang on.
older too.
I'm saying I could see myself
in the
saying,
field, you know.
yeah. See, I'm 60.
Yes, but I mean, you're older than a 25-year-old.
It's just thought. I can see myself doing that.
Mhm.
I can
Yeah.
see myself going, oh, don't cry, you make me feel so bad. But also embracing them and letting them know it's okay.
Because
But it is out of compassion, because that bothers me.
Can't
But,
touch students.
oh, we can, and I always
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of places
And
you
child
can't.
care.
But
I think
also
that
They need,
changes.
they need it.
Yeah.
They,
they need,
it.
but the other part of that
Unless they
is
don't want it.
don't cry. What we're really saying is I'm hurting for you.
For you, yeah.
Right.
I'm hurting for you.
I see you,
I
and I'm
see-
hurting
yeah,
for you.
right.
And you
And
know,
I-
we
but-
can do that for adults too.
Yes.
But how many of us think to do it?
But
Yes.
don't,
Yeah.
but I totally agree, because that might not have been where they were coming from, but don't ever, ever, ever tell a child. And people do it with boys all the time. Oh, be a big boy. Boys
Yeah.
don't cry.
Exactly.
Sorry.
We need
Oh,
more
Lordy,
boys
they
to
don't.
cry.
Yeah, boys need to cry, and
Yeah.
boys need to move and act and be more spontaneous than girls do. But they're expecting the boys to be like little girls in the classroom,
Yeah,
and it doesn't
some
work
ways,
that
yeah.
way.
All right,
And
ladies,
emotion-
this has been an amazing conversation. But we are at an hour.
Nice.
Oh.
We made
So-
it.
We made it. Yes.
And everyone talked.
And everyone
Everyone
talked. Yes,
And not
thank
over
you.
each other.
I'm so proud of me.
We're proud of you.
We're proud of all of us.
And I want to thank my group here for just, you guys have been such great sports. Thank you. You could have said, no, we're not doing your stupid podcast. But thank you. Thank you for
Where can I
jumping
go?
in and participating, and I really appreciate that. I just want to remind our audience that this show airs every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock Central Time, and we have different episodes every week. So I really want to thank you all for tuning in again, for joining us, and please share this, hit the subscribe button, go to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button, because this will initially air on All Access Network Television. And that's a great organization. I'm very honored to be part of it. And, you know, we get a lot of each other's videos. So if you would also go to my YouTube channel, which is ParaMystic Podcast with Kristina Bloom, and subscribe to that, as well as All Access Network Television, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Do you want to put in a plug for yourself?
Yeah. But now I'm going to have to get the little card out.
I don't
Okay.
have a little
Oh, that's
card.
all right.
I'll find
Okay.
the little
That's okay.
card.
You
That's
know who
okay.
you are.
We know who we
Post it in the
are.
credits.
Oh
You
my
can
God.
comment
Yeah.
underneath.
We'll comment underneath.
Yeah, we'll just comment underneath.
Stop
So
right there.
no, have a seat. You're fine. So yeah, you guys do have a podcast, so we will put that into the comments as well. And if anyone has anything else that they would like to promote that you've got going on, that would be great. If you want to make an appointment to have a psychic reading, an Akashic record reading, past life regression, all kinds of stuff that I do, please feel free to reach me on my website, KristinaBloom.com. And I will be starting up classes again December and January. And this is probably the second time now I've said I'll be putting a poll up, and I haven't, but I will. Still working with some health issues. So, you know, my energy isn't quite where it normally is just yet, but I'm getting there. And I just want to thank you all so much for being here, for participating, for coming to our retreat. Linda and I put this retreat together, and we just want to thank you all for coming and participating, and really bringing your wisdom and your clarity and your kindness to this. And I want to thank everyone in the audience. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
It was fun. Bye.